Game plan.
Oh gosh, well, I went pretty much to plan for the first half of the race. I thought the rabbit, well, the requested pace was going to be a little bit quick for how I thought the race would end up finishing. So I purposefully held back. I was supposed to take the lead with 3.5 laps to go in my mind. If the pace was moderate, I would take it then, because any later, Kip wouldn't let me go by, but I figured if I went 3.5, 4 laps to go, he might allow me to go by so I could do a gradual move. But I wasn't quite feeling it to go then, so I decided to wait. And because I waited and waited, it meant the last chance I had to go around him, I had to do a really sudden move, and I think that cost that little zap out of my legs down the bit. But basically I saw the finish line as the end of the back straight on the last lap. If you got to that final turn in the front, it's going to be hard to pass. So we battled it out down the back straight, and the crowd really got behind it, but I just didn't have it because of the previous lap's move, and very, very disappointed. But again, we've both come in at the start of, this is our first race of the season, so yes, it's an important race to establish how things are going to go for the rest of the year, but you can't jeopardize or sacrifice the training, which is so important, which will carry us through all the way to August this year. So this is one of 17 races I'll be doing this season, and I'm sure Kip will be doing something similar. So it's an important one, very important to make sure Kip had a very challenging run to get that record, and I'm glad he didn't have a walk in the park, and the crowd really appreciated it as well, so it was fun to be a part of history.
This is kind of the second straight year where after the race you talked about how you almost knew what was going to happen the last few seconds visualized. Your familiarity was actually kind of scary.
You know, after running since 2001, you know, really, I think I've run and get into different situations in the race, and I'm always careful. I mean, I've known exactly. I mean, this year something happened. I remember what Lagat passed me in 2003. Yeah, I think it was 2003. Lagat caught me by surprise, and then I realized that, you know, every time I come, I don't want anybody to give me surprises. But if somebody was to surprise me like that, I have to know how to get back again instantly, you know, without a just split-second decision. And it's like today, what happened? 2 laps to go, Nick went. And so I wanted to go with him, because in this tight track, if you wait for too long, it's going to be too late. And so you don't want to be too, I mean, but for me, when Lagat passed in 2003, it was too late for me. So, and I don't want anything like that to happen again. And it's like, I kind of knew how it was going to go, like what I told you. You kind of visualize the race, how it might end up going. Your number one competitor like Nick, how he was going to go, if he was to go in the front, how am I going to run that? And if I'm leading all the way to 3 laps to go, you know somebody's going to go. And so it's almost unpredictable, but you have to know how to run them.
Did you want to be the race? It seemed like you came out last year, you kind of hung back a little bit. This year you
Yeah, I wanted to run from, you know, from the front. And of course, I knew, you know, we have some certain respect in the race, even though you don't, talk with your friend how he wants to run. But sometimes if Nick was to be in front, following the pacemaker, I was not going to make a stupid move to try to, you know, to break him with the pacemaker. So we always, like when I was in front, there was no way, I mean, there's a certain respect that we have in the mile, and it's been there all the time. So somebody comes in the, you cannot go between somebody, another your competitor, and the pacemaker, because you are going to maybe even break his rhythm, and you might actually make him fall. So I knew that I wanted to go in front. That's why I had to go fast with the pacemaker. Whoever follows the pacemaker first, that's the one who is going to be following all the way, and I wanted to be like that today.
Now you won 2 world titles in 2007. That be your goal in 2009?
Yes, I hope so. You know, with having, last year I was in good shape, trained so well through the trials, and then 1 week after the trials, I was training in my training base in Germany, and I got Achilles tendon problem, and it became a big problem for 3 weeks before the Olympics. And so that was the one that was frustrating me. So if I train like this, no problems, I could see myself running well like I did in 2007.
Obviously Nick's going to have something to say about that.
Hopefully the wider bends will suit my stride a little more. That's maybe why I got him in the 5th Avenue mile last year, because there were no bends at all.
Any other questions?